All right, we're here in 2025 now. Got our first Brewdown, and we thought we'd start this year a little different. We had 2 Brewdowns last year,
With those Brewdowns, we did pre-release packs.
right?
This year, we're going to do something different. We're going to bring our own decks out and play a little bit with them and have a little bit of fun.
So we're going to start off by actually Logan and I playing against each other with our own personal decks that we play in our play groups and go from there. So what you're seeing this time around will be some decks we brewed. Now, before you get too up, they're not perfect, obviously, and they're not super efficient. They're just fun decks that we both enjoy quite a bit.
Just something to have fun and different. Something fun and different for our group.
So join us for a little Warrior on Night action. All right, we're here to the play portion of the video. We got Logan over there playing in the black sleeves, and I've got the purple sleeves.
My deck is a knight-based deck. I'm hoping to make a bunch of knights and keep returning knights.
Okay. In mine, for those that are old like me, might recognize the movie quote, "Warriors come out to play." It's based on the movie Warriors. It's a Warriors deck. Funny story about this I will tell as we play, but we're going to start off with the roll. High or low?
High.
High. I got 12.
4.
Okay, I think I got that. Cut decks. Oh, I should cut your deck. You should cut my deck. That's how that goes.
There we go.
All right. We'll pull out our 7 resolved mulligans. Oh. Make sure everybody saw that came off the top. And all right, I'm going to have to mulligan. I had 1 land, and it was not matching any card I had in my hand. I had 1 red land and a whole bunch of white. So those are listening, I got a red and white Warriors deck. What color is your Knights deck?
I have a green and white Knights deck, so we'll see how well this turns out. I'm going to keep.
You're going to keep? Okay. Then we're going to have you cut me again.
Let's see if I can do another amazing cut for you.
No, let's not do that. Let's give me at least 1 of each land color. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we do 1 free mulligan in our group, so 7. Okay, we're already doing good. I've got a matching land to a... Okay, we're good. Oh, we're overly good now. Maybe we went the wrong way. All right.
For a land.
I got a land. All right, so for those that are watching, I won the roll, so I'll be going first. Or I will choose to go first. We are in a player heads up, so we're not doing... You don't get to draw first. When you're in a pod, you get to draw first, but we're not, so... Okay, I'm going to some kind of snarl. I can't pronounce. Furricarn snarl. It's a red-white land, and if I reveal a plains or a mountain, I can bring it in untapped. I do that and do absolutely nothing. I'm done.
All right. Draw for my turn. All right. I will do a Temple of Plenty. It enters tapped and is one of the scry lands, so I will scry.
I find the scry lands to be very useful. I know a lot of people, because they come in tapped, don't like those.
I will keep it on top and pass the turn.
Thank you. Now I get my first draw of the game. Oh, that's nice. And I will play that plains that you saw me a while ago, which leads into my first play. I'm going to play a Herald of Dramoka. He is vigilant. He gives all of my other warriors vigilance, so he can attack without tapping.
All right.
So, and I am passing turn.
And tap upkeep, draw, and you can see another Temple of Plenty come in for another scry.
I have heard others online say that 4 scries is equivalent to a card draw. And what's your opinion on that?
4 scries is a card draw? I'll keep that on top also, and I will pass. I think 4 scries is more than a card draw. That's 4 filters you're doing on your deck.
What you guys tell us down in the comments? How many scries do you think equal a card draw? Is it 4? Is it higher? Is it lower? Do you find scrying to be non-useful? I'm going to put in a cliff top retreat. It would come in tapped unless I control a plains or a mountain, and I do. So let's go ahead and get in early blood. I will attack. He is a 2/2.
All right. Take the 2.
That was the attack phase. Now we'll go to second main phase. You're not going to like me for this. Soul Ring. Yes, folks, that is an old school Soul Ring. It's one of my originals that I used to play with back in the day. Question is, can I do anything with that? I am actually going to tap that and the Soul Ring I just put into play. Put a Mardu War Chief. When Mardu War Chief enters the battlefield, if I attack this turn, put a 1/1 white warrior creature token onto the battlefield. I have 2 types of tokens for this deck, one with vigilance and one without. Rogue. You guys may go, he named his tokens. Well, yes, that's part of the story. Rogue is one of the gangs in the movie Warriors. All of my warriors without vigilance are named after gangs, except 2, and they're named after the leader of the warriors. All the ones I have that are vigilant, you'll see who they're named after in a bit, I hope. Pass turn.
Untap, upkeep, draw. Land for turn. And let's pay 3 for a Diamond Knight, choosing white. Have a little marker for it. Whenever I cast a white spell, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Pass the turn.
So you have a blocker out now, is that correct?
Yes. It's only a 1/1.
Well, my rogue's only a 1/1, so. Untap. Draw. Uh-oh. I'm going to play another plains in first round. Let's go ahead and swing it all in at you.
Total 5.
5.
Take the 5.
All right. And red. Red. It does have to be red. White. And my Soul Ring. Coral Tyrant of the Cliffs. I don't think I've actually ever gotten this thing out and played before. Whenever a creature an opponent controls attacks, if I'm the defending player, put a 3/3 rogue ogre creature token onto the battlefield unless its controller pays, I think that's a 3.
3.
3. So if you swing something at me, you have to pay 3 or I get a 3/3 ogre, which is not a warrior. Not on theme, but he himself is a warrior. That's recruitment. That's how I get more players in.
I will untap my land.
And I'll tell you now, folks, I think I just made a play mistake, but that's okay.
Forest, tap 4. And I will cast Bajri's Lieutenant. Have a trigger go off. On cast, he gets a +1/+1 counter. When Bajri enters, I can put a +1/+1 counter on target creature.
Oh, right over here anytime you want.
That I control. I will go on him.
I tried, folks. I tried.
And then he is currently a 4/5 Vigilance Protection from Multicolored. And I will pass the turn.
Untap. Play a land. I'm going to go ahead and swing my 1/1 at you.
I'll block with a 2/2.
Okay. He dies. And then I'm going to play my second Mardu War Chief. I put him in the graveyard. Star, one of the leaders of one of the gangs. So not all of them are after gangs. Some of them are after the leaders of the other gangs. So So I basically got him right back. And I'm done.
All right. Well, untap land. Upkeep draw.
So the story I was going to tell you guys while he's working on that.
Gain a life.
As you know, I advised the gaming club on campus for a long time, and I brought over a whole bunch of decks one night to play, and found that a lot of my players I was up against were newbies, and my decks were built not to go against newbies. So I went out and built warriors to be a newbies deck, and one that I could take against the new players and not overwhelm them. Boy, did I mess up. It run ram shot that night, and I said, okay, I made a mistake.
Pay 3 for a Citadel Castleton. 2/3 Vigilance. I will get a trigger, opponent +1/+1 counter on my Diamond Knight. And that's going to be it.
I will untap. I'm trying not to flick the cards. I've got my fingers so that I'm not doing a, we know who does that. You know, I think I'm going to take this turn off. Pass the turn.
All right.
I have no good swings at you.
Nope. Stack my land like that. Untap, upkeep, draw. Pay 3 for Garruk's Uprising. When it enters, if I control a creature of power 4 or greater, draw a card. I do. Creatures I control have trample. And then whenever a creature with power 4 or greater enters the battlefield under my control, draw a card.
It's the trample part I don't like, ladies and gentlemen. So makes things a little bit more difficult.
Just a little.
So after we had that night where I overwhelmed them with the Warriors deck, I decided for newbies I would just start playing welcome decks and stuff like that.
Do another Diamond Knight for green this time.
Green, okay. In case you notice this thing coming in off screen here, I keep all of my tokens and stuff kind of off to the side, so we got a green counter.
Thank you.
And there we go. So now a green or a white spell gives them a +1 counter on something. A green light spell gives you a counter on both of them.
Yes. And I will pass the turn.
At the end of your turn, I'm tapping out. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and a white for Secure the Waste. Make 6 1/1 white warrior tokens. If they're not vigilant, well, they will be from them. So, all right. So we got Vance, Swan, Cleo, Luther, Orphan. Cleon was the original leader of the Warriors and was killed very early in the movie. Swan took his place, I believe. Those who have watched the movie will probably correct me. And I'm looking at this going, I thought for sure Luther was a warrior, but he is not. He's actually a bad guy in the movie, if I remember correctly. So I'm going to untap on my turn. And you are tapped out. And I hate to say that's bad news for you. Because you remember what this deck's really good at?
Mm-hmm. Mass swing or board wipe?
The mass swing, but before I play the mass swing, Cosmotronic Wave. Cosmotronic Wave says it deals 1 point of damage to each creature your opponents control. Creatures your opponents control can't block this turn. I don't believe that kills but the one, but I'm not too worried about that. These came in on your turn, so they are able to swing. All out vigilant swing. 2, 4, 6, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18.
That'll be game.
That'll be game. All right. And that, folks, is actually how this deck is designed. Get a whole bunch of warriors out and then smack them with an unblockable. And that's what makes it nasty.
Yes.
So it went off just like it was supposed to. All right, we are back for round 2, game 2. I'm going to lead 1 zip. And once again, I'm in purple. Logan's in black. He's playing knights. I'm playing warriors. We're going to cut decks. No weird cuts. Oops.
Oh,
Well,
there you go.
and since I won the last game, you choose.
I will be on to play this time.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Already looking good.
I will mulligan. That was definitely a smart decision.
Interesting. I will be keeping. So, any fun stories about your night deck as you sit there and do that?
Not really. I just figured, an army of knights that never die would be an interesting take.
You might want to expand on the never die. I know what it is, but our viewers may not.
Well,
Or you want to wait until it shows up?
Well, hopefully it'll show up in the game.
Yeah, my hook on this one showed up in the first game. The unblockable swarm you with a bunch of vigilant warriors.
I'm going to have to go down to 6, I think.
Ouch.
Yep. No land.
So.
Alright, I'm keeping now.
All right.
We'll start off with a Temple of Plenty for scrying. Leave that on top.
Better get my life total where people can see it.
And I will pass.
I will draw for turn. And I will drop Windswept Crag. Enters the battlefield, I gain a life. Move our life total extras over here, so I will do that. Did come into play tap, so go.
And tap upkeep, draw.
Play a little fair magic here, jumping in tap.
I'm going to follow you and play a Blossoming Sands to also gain a life.
Oh.
And I will pass.
All right, I will untap my land. One card, only one card. Yep. I will. I need to get something down and keep it down. So we will drop a plains. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that's it. I do not have a round 2 play either. This happens every once in a while.
Untap, upkeep, draw. Land for turn. Pay 2 for a Worthy Knight. Cast a night spell, make a human token. Pass the turn.
Okay, well, there's one of his things on mine, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to play Fribbles. There's that snarl again. Furry common snarl. Displaying, I have another plains. Tap 3 to play Herald's Horn. Herald's Horn is enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. I'm choosing warriors, obviously. It's a warriors deck. Creatures you control of chosen type cost 1 less to cast. So kind of a ramp spell. But more importantly, at the beginning of my upkeep, I'm going to look at the top card of my library. If it's that creature type, I can reveal it and put it in my hand. If not, I put it back on the top and then draw it. Done.
Draw. Let's have another land. And then let's pay 3 for a Radiant Destiny, choosing humans. Then creatures get +1/+1 of the chosen type, and then when I have the City's Blessing, they also have Vigilance.
Okay. What we usually do in our play group is when you got something like that that affects everything with chosen type, we remind ourselves by putting a counter of some sort at the top, dice or something, to know that all his knights get 1 extra now.
I will pass.
Not going to attack?
Oh, you are open.
Yeah.
Swing in for 3.
There's 1, 2, 3. So I went from 21 to 18. Don't forget I had a game of life in there. Okay, my upkeep, Herald's Horn. I get to look at the top card. If I reveal it and it's a warrior, I put it in my hand.
Yes.
Before I do that, let me see how many cards I got in my hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I will reveal our friend Harold Vernoka. He's the one who gives all my guys vigilance.
All right.
Put him in my hand. Now I move on to my draw step. Oh, I don't show you that one. Almost showed you that one. Oh, this is interesting. Well, I'm going to play that plain I have. Red, white, giving me 4. Specifically for a Falcon Breath Marauders, creature vampire, flying haste. When this guy deals combat damage to a player, put 2 +1/+1 counters in it. He comes in as a 2/2. I can pay him for 1 less because of the Herald's Horn, because he is a warrior. That's why I can do it for 4 and not 5. And because he has haste, I'm going to swing in and put 2 counters on him. He doesn't get the counters till after combat damage is done, so you only take 2.
All right.
And I'm done.
Untap. Upkeep, draw.
All right. Not too much dead silence there. We want to keep going.
Oh, sorry. I'm just trying to debate decisions to be made.
Yep.
All right.
I will point out that once again I'm open, tapped out. So
well, let's pay 4. Let's get an engine online for Bosri's Lieutenant. It is a knight. Trigger, make a human. And since you are tapped out, let's go ahead and swing another 3 at you.
15 is now my new life total. I'm down from 18.
I will pass.
I will untap. Okay. Upkeep. I will look at the top card. It is not a warrior to reveal, so I will just put it back and then draw it.
Oh, Mr. Bosri, he gets a counter on
him. He put his own counter on himself?
Yeah, when it enters the battlefield.
You get to put a counter on somebody.
On target on a creature I control.
Okay.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I am 8 for the city's blessing.
You seem to be poking around on me. Let's see if I get anything that comes into play useful here. Okay. Well, I'm going to tap 1 white and put the Herald out so that my guys now are vigilant. This is going to come into play very quickly. And once again, he only cost 1 white because of the reduction. And white. Dauntless Avian, Bird Warrior Flying. When this guy attacks, untap target creature you control. Well, that comes into play. He's a 2/1 flyer. I'll move to combat.
All right.
I will swing a flyer at you for 4.
And go down to 15.
And he'll jump up to 6/6. Second main. Now I will play. Yeah. I will play a Boris Garrison, which I have to bounce a land or sacrifice it. I'm just going to bounce one of my planes into my hand.
All right.
Okay. And that's it. Go.
Untap, upkeep, draw.
I'm going to move this guy up.
Yep.
Because we know he can attack is why.
Pay 2 for another worthy knight. Making a token. And I now have to say his blessings that all my stuff will have vigilance.
Okay. So it's vigilance versus vigilance. Vigilant knights versus vigilant warriors. So, generally what we do when we play in our play group is we keep the ones that are summoning sick on the back row until they become out of summoning sickness, unless we just run out of room. I mean, that happens too sometimes. So those watching at home, the back 2 are summoning sick. You can still attack the top 3.
I'll pass. Swinging doesn't really do anything at the moment.
No reach?
No reach.
No reach, no flying. Okay.
Knights like horses, not birds.
I have a few warriors that are on birds. Okay. Untap, upkeep, trigger. Look at my top. It is not a warrior, so I will put it back and then draw it. Well, what should I draw? Oh, well, that's actually quite useful. Recent addition to the deck. I don't think you've seen this card come out before. Slayer's Stronghold.
No.
It's a land. Taps for a colorless, but for a red and white. Tap it. Target creature gets +2/+0. Engage vigilance and haste until the end of turn. I forgot about the vigilance and haste part. I'm going to go ahead and tap for a red and a white and tap him, giving this guy +2/+0. He doesn't need the haste or the vigilance, but he's also a flyer.
Okay.
I'll swing in. He's a 6/6, and with the +2, he's a 4.
Both for flying.
It was a +2/+0, so
Yep.
it's a 4/1. Both are flying, yes.
6, and that's a total of 10.
And then this guy jumps up to another +2/+2. And unfortunately, that's it.
All right.
I'm done.
Untap, upkeep, draw.
So I'm going to ask the question just to make sure I understand. That +1/+1 goes for knights.
For humans.
Oh, humans. I thought
Humans.
you called knights.
Called humans.
Okay, so oops.
So that way these are also
These are
buffs.
2/2s.
These are 2/2s.
Okay.
The issue is mana. If I had mana, I could do stuff.
And those watching at home, you can see my mana problem. Do you have anything to take out the flying vampire?
If I had mana, I do.
Okay.
So
The problem is you don't have mana.
I don't have the mana to do it. 15. Make you block one thing for sure. Or that's probably going to get blocked.
So what do we got coming up? We got...
We're not in combat yet, but if we were, these are 2, 3, 3, so that's 6. Plus 4 over here, so that's 10.
And him.
In him, which
is...
he is a 4, 5, 5, 6.
5, 6. So that's 15 if you swing it all. Interesting dilemma.
Well, let's buff it. Another one for humans. Another Radiant Destiny.
Okay.
So everything's again +2/+2 now.
So these guys are.
All these are humans too.
Oh, they're all humans. Okay.
All my knights are human. They're human knights. So
so it's a human knight deck, not just a knight deck.
I'm pretty sure 90%, at least 90% of my knights are humans in there.
So that brings us up to a whole lot more than 15.
A whole lot more.
Exactly, that's 5.
Yeah.
Brings you up to 20.
Well, let's go ahead and swing. No point in waiting around.
Okay. You're tapped out, so...
I have a plains. Always could have a holy day.
You could have a holy day. Well, you guys have first strike?
No first strike. These are 4/4s.
These are 4/4s. These are
3/3s.
3/3s. 4, 4, 4, 4, and he's a 6.
6/7.
So that's 14 there.
Yeah.
He would be blocking one of these. What is it? It's a 6, is it 8/8?
Yes.
Actually, we'll block one of the 3/3s with the 8/8.
4/4.
4/4s with the 8/8. And we'll double block the other 4/4. New combat rules apply, folks.
Yeah.
So And for those that have maybe joined in a little after Foundations, new combat rule when I block with 2 like this. Used to, you had to assign enough damage to be lethal. You no longer have to do that. I think there's enough damage here to kill both of them no matter what. But he would get to assign however his damage he wants, and there's no chance at that point to do anything. So if I was going to buff or anything like that, I'd have to do it before he assigns damage. So we'll go into the step after the blockers are declared. This is the last chance I would have as a blocker or as a defender to buff my creatures before he assigns damage. And I do not have a buff to put on there. So
both of those will die. These 2 will die. Then I believe you're take 12.
3, 3, 6, 12.
But the flying spells a little bit of doom.
Yes, it does. Anything you want to do with your white? Unless you've got a holy day in there.
Unfortunately, I do not.
So, you would tell me if you did anyway. Okay, upkeep. Reveal it is not, and it is, of all things,
Netherland.
Warriors. I like the unclaimed territory. I try to put that in all my tribal decks because of the wonderful little.
I think I'll have to go search for some of those.
Yeah,
I mana fixing.
I get to choose them. It really helps with the mana fixing, and it also taps for a colorless if you don't have that. There's not that type, so I cast other spells with it. But I am going to tap the Slayer's Hollow, a green, actually a white and a red to give him +2/+2. He's going to swing in for
10.
6, 8, 10.
Nothing I can do.
Okay.
No holy day.
In case you were wondering what my problem was, I drew 4 land in a row, or just about 4 land in a row. That was tough. That second one was close.
I almost had you. That flyer, though.
You gotta love flying. I've always loved evasion. As you can tell from that deck, flying evasion, unblockable evasion, that's what makes that deck go. I was fortunate, though, that you unfortunately had a mana issue that second game. I think it would have went the other way.
Had a few options in my hand that I could have done some stuff, extra knights, start swinging, make all my tokens and stuff, just the infinite loop going. But 1 land short.
1 land short. That's the importance of land. It was arena mode. And I kind of the opposite reason. At the end of the game, I still had 3 lands in my hand. I hadn't got to play yet. So I had too much land in that second game, but it still came out good. I think the star for me that second game was the combination of the vampire and the Herald Horn. So
Herald Horn. Vigilance made a big part too. Being able to swing and block.
Swing and block. That made a real big difference. I was able to swing, block, sacrifice what I needed to, and keep going. Of course, you had Vigilance too, so you could swing and block.
Yes, I did.
Well, you couldn't because they were flyers.
Unfortunately.
But that's how it goes. First game, it was a little more one-sided on that one.
Yes.
So, but that's how it kind of goes sometimes. If we were to do that again, possibility that he sweeps me into and trounces me pretty bad. We had fun though. We had a blast. There are some changes I'm going to be making to the Warriors deck, and I know there's changes you've been doing tonight.
It's been about 6-ish years since that deck had an upgrade, so it's about due for an upgrade now.
I think I built that Warriors about 6 years ago too. Like I said in the story, I built it to take on newbies, newcomers to our little play group there at the college, and it was a little more powerful. They were not used to the unblockable. That was their big issue. It's like, oh, it's unblockable. I can't do anything. So evasion, kind of got a lesson in evasion that way. It's kind of grown a little bit since then. I need to go through there and trim it back again and swap out some of the newer warriors that are in there.
Yeah.
Keep the theme, though. I love to produce warrior tokens. You didn't get to see any of the vigilant warriors in either of those games?
No.
They were all unvigilant.
Pseudo-vigilance.
They got vigilance from somebody else. The deck also made warriors that had vigilance on their own. And those warriors, had they come out, had been the members of the warrior game. You could have seen all the different names of Rembrandt and Fox and stuff like that. So, but that's good. We're coming up for this year. We're going to play some more of these. We're going to do more of our own decks against each other again.
More pre-release.
More pre-release packs. If you've got a pre-release set that you want us to do in, say, the last couple of years, it's kind of where I've got most of my pre-release packs from. Let us know in the comments. Hey, you guys got the pre-release for such and such? Can you do that one? We're also going to start in on our pod play. We got friends of ours, our play group that we're going to be including in. They'll be coming down. We're doing some quads. Not all of our quads are Commander either. Our pods, a lot of times, we like the decks you just saw.
There's some casual gameplay.
Casual pods and stuff like that. You get to see a wide variety of play at that point. You see what happens when some of these decks go one-on-one against more than one person. So it's more of 1-on-3.
Yes.
So Warriors are totally different when he goes 1-on-3 because I don't get to concentrate all my fire on one person. I could just concentrate on my fire. Yeah. Others, I'd have to have been like, okay, I gotta wait. I've got 2 other players that could attack me, and gets me down to 3, and not a good thing.
No, it's not.
Of course, you would have had the same problem. So
yes, that's where vigilance comes in.
That's where vigilance comes in.
Be able to swing the creatures
and have them survive.
Or even if they died in that deck, they just come back as another knight with a counter on it.
In theory. He didn't quite get that one out there.
Haven't got that far yet.
So we got a lot more coming up this year. A lot more gaming, a lot more of these game videos coming up. A lot more pre-release videos coming up. And we'll do some talking about stuff too.
Yes.
We got a few podcast style that we'll be doing. So I hope you come back and join us some more. Get some more gameplay.
All right. We'll see y'all in the next one.
Like, subscribe, hit that bell icon. Help us out on that algorithm. Thank you very much.